Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and just today, LEGO has officially revealed the 3 brand new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 sets, and there are quite a lot of very interesting models, minifigures, and sets to choose from this time. So we are getting 3 sets in total. One of them is a pretty small set focused around the Guardians of the Galaxy headquarters, and 2 of them are different types of spaceships, one of which will presumably appear in a flashback sequence featuring a brand new mold for baby Rocket Raccoon, which I'm sure will be very desirable among adult and kid fans alike, as well as the brand new Guardian ship, which we first saw in the holiday special, but now for the first time is getting an official LEGO model, and it looks really good. And so, without further ado, let's jump right in and take a look at the sets themselves coming out very soon. Kicking things off, we have the first smallest Guardians of the Galaxy set, simply titled Guardians of the Galaxy Headquarters. This is set number 76253, and while it may not be the most interesting set, it does come with an exclusive minifigure. It has 67 pieces and retails for $10 US, and that basically roughly translates the same price across all of the different Eurozones and across Asia as well, and will launch on April 1st, 2023 alongside the rest of the wave. Now, what's notable about this is the brand new Groot minifigure, where, to be completely honest, it's basically the same old Groot, but with a specially recolored shoulder piece. The shoulder piece is not new, it has been used for several years now, back with Knights and then with the LEGO Movie 2, and now it is recolored in the dark tan color for Groot, and he has a new print for the face, although the torso looks very similar to the one that came before. It's a little different, he has some more leaves and different pieces of detailing growing on him, which is different from the prior one, but it is very, very close to the original minifigure that we got for Groot in Avengers Infinity War, with the same exact head mold being used. Unfortunately, I really don't know how else they could have done him as a minifigure. Obviously, if you've seen the trailers or if you've seen the holiday special, Groot has a very unique proportioned build to him this time. He's not quite a big figure, he's not quite a minifigure either, and unless they made a brand new mold for his entire torso like they did with Axel for Nexo Knights, which clearly they did not have the budget to make any new molds, I think this is probably the best we could have gotten for something like that. That's really the only armor piece that's currently in production where I feel like would have made sense to put over Groot. Maybe the armor piece used for like the Bad Batch minifigures could have worked from Star Wars, but that's a little bit too smooth and rounded. So it was kind of tough. LEGO was not in a great position here with no more budget for new molds. They really just had to come up with something for it. And yeah, while it's not perfect, I think it's just okay and gets the job done alright, especially given the constraints. In terms of the build itself, it's not really anything super special. I do really like the Guardians of the Galaxy logo though. That is just a sticker, but I do really like how they have it on a 2x6 plate. That does look very cool. Otherwise though, this is just kind of a throwaway $10 build with 2 nice minifigures in it. And one note is that it appears that all of the different minifigures are wearing basically the same exact outfit this go around, with very few minor changes. There's a couple of different changes when it comes to like Rocket compared to the others. But for the most part, this is another Avengers Endgame case of, look, they had the budget to make only a couple new minifigure pieces. They chose to spend just the budget on this one set of minifigure torso and legs. Understandably so, because they're wearing the same outfit. It doesn't really bother me that much because they clearly are wearing identical outfits. I don't even think we needed any variation, but it is just something to keep in mind that they basically all have the same torso, so once you have one, you kinda have them all. Moving on to the more interesting set though, this one may be one of my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy sets yet. 76254 is simply titled Baby Rocket's Ship. With 330 pieces, it retails for $35, 35 euros, and 30 British pounds. Will also release April 1st, and yeah, that is a brand new mold for Baby Rocket, and that is just adorable. I think LEGO has kind of cracked the formula here, and they realized that making baby versions of characters is where the money's at. They were not ready in time for Grogu, and they were eventually able to come up with one, but they're not taking any chances now, and they made sure to devote their, what it looks like to be their only new mold for this entire lineup of sets to specifically being given to the Baby Rocket mold, which I think honestly was probably the smart idea. Thankfully, the set also includes the grown-up version of Rocket, which is really nice. They did not need to do that, but it's really cool how you have the grown-up version. Obviously, the movie is not out yet, but I would assume that maybe this is some flashback in terms of how Rocket as a baby escaped on a spaceship. So Rocket maybe as an adult doesn't make a lot of sense to include in this, but it's really nice that LEGO did manage to include him here because this is the only set that has Rocket, and of course, everybody will want it for the Baby Rocket figure. In terms of the set itself, For $35, I think it's okay. Feels like a $30 set to me, to be completely honest, but $35 is not bad. I actually really like the shaping and color scheme of the overall look and feel of the entire rocket ship. The keyed orange or flame yellowish orange color is really nice. I like how you can angle the engines on the ratchet joints from Knight's Kingdom 2, allowing it to be posed in different ways as you're swooshing it around. This looks really swooshable. I just really like the aesthetics and overall look and feel of the ship, and I believe that's the first time we are getting that particular cockpit canopy in transparent green as well. So that is a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Moving on to the largest and final set. This is easily the one I am most excited for. It has been the one I have been the most excited for ever since we got a leaked list of names months ago. This is set number 76255, simply titled. The titles here are very, very easy to understand. It is just the new Guardians ship. I believe this does have a name. I think it's the Bowie, but they didn't call it that like they called the Milano. They're just calling it the new Guardians ship. I guess they didn't call the previous ships from Infinity War and whatnot a separate specific name as well. They just called it the Guardians ship. So you know what? Lego's being simple. It's just the new Guardians ship. It retails for $100 US, 100 euros, and 90 British pounds, and comes with 1,108 pieces, making this pretty good value. Now, the shaping of the ship was something I was incredibly excited for LEGO to pull off ever since I first saw it in the holiday special. I was very excited because it is a very unique type of vessel. You've got kind of the two rings going on opposite sides. It's a unique color of teal and bright pink. That is a very interesting color to make for a ship like this. And overall, I am very, very happy with how the ship looks. I think this may be one of the coolest ships we've gotten from LEGO in a long time. It is so impressive, and it looks like it'd be so fun to swoosh around. This is easily a day one purchase for me. I cannot wait to get my hands on it and build it, and this comes with a pretty complete lineup of the Guardians: Star-Lord, Drax, Nebula, Mantis, and Adam Warlock. Strangely enough, LEGO seems to be fully committing and going all in to giving Drax a greenish skin hue like he has in the comics, whereas he explicitly has gray skin in the movies. And in case you're not, maybe you're saying, oh, maybe he has a little bit of green in him, James Gunn has said on Twitter that they specifically made him gray because they already had a green member of the team. There were enough green people in the MCU, and green is hard to film on green screens and stuff. So he is like objectively, factually gray, and it makes it very odd how LEGO keeps on insisting on giving him the green hue. I guess that's good for people who want to have the comics version. That being said, it's not that big of a deal. We have gotten Drax figures in the past who are all gray from the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Now, it's been a while since we actually did get a gray Drax figure, but they have made it before. It's not like they've never done it before. So if it really bothers you, it is just the head, so you can swap that out, which is not a huge deal, but it is very odd to me. Interestingly enough, the only villainous or antagonistic figure that we get here is Adam Warlock. And I think that if you had to choose one, that would be the one to choose, but it is a bit of a shame that we aren't getting the actual main villain of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Specifically, the main villain is not actually Adam Warlock. It is instead the character played by Chukwudi Iwuji, who appeared on Peacemaker, James Gunn's show. The High Evolutionary is really the main villain of Guardians 3. And we're not getting him as a minifigure, and I think at this point it is highly unlikely that we actually do ever get a minifigure of him in the future. Like maybe 5-10 years from now, if LEGO ever revisits this movie, then maybe we'll get it, but very unlikely. So I really wish that we even just had a little bit more budget to give us that figure, because I have to imagine that he's a really good actor. I have a feeling that his performance is going to be really memorable in the movie, and I wish we would be able to get a figure of him. And it's kind of repeating a trend of not getting villains in main Marvel sets. At least we're getting Adam Warlock here, whereas Quantumania isn't even giving us Kang. So a little disappointing for the figure selection. Otherwise, though, I am very happy with this build. It looks really cool. It also comes with a display stand, which is something I appreciate they've been giving us for the Guardian ships over the years, really kind of trending the line between having a product made for both kids but also adults to enjoy. I'm not sure if every single member of the Guardians can fit inside the ship. It looks like it because the pods actually do detach on the sides and you can place minifigures in the pods themselves. I don't know if that's a feature that will be seen in the movie or if it's just something that LEGO came up with, kind of as a callback to their classic spaceships, but I like it. And that Adam Warlock figure being casted out of actual pearl gold plastic for the hair, the head, and the torso looks absolutely stunning. So very excited to get that. Just wish we got the High Evolutionary as well, because he seems to be the real villain of the movie. Alright, and with that, we have summed up our look at the 3 brand new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 sets coming out very soon. It's really cool seeing that massive new Guardian ship replicated in LEGO format. It looks really stunning with the color scheme and the curves and the way it's built, and I certainly am very excited for the Baby Rocket minifigure, although it is unfortunate we're not getting a minifigure for who's basically the main villain of the film, as well as Gamora. Those two feel like pretty notable exclusions to me, but who knows, maybe LEGO has something else up their sleeves. With that, we've summed up our look at the brand new LEGO Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 sets. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming away very soon. Thanks so much, and bye for now.